Look his face.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
He's special.
You can like.
The guy is special. Everything that could possibly be special about this guy is special. A guy like this is the type of guy that you love to watch and follow. The most special guy that I've ever come across.
Hello and welcome back to the Patrick McCorry Sports Show. Today we have a returning guest from my first ever interview, Tim Elliott. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. So you're fighting this weekend against Matheus Nicolau. How do you feel about this fight?
As far as matchups go, I feel really good about it. I've fought several guys that are very similar to him. All three of my fights outside of the UFC and Titan were Brazilians with good records. Iliardo Santos, Pedro Nobre, Felipe Efren. All those guys are really good record Brazilian guys. And so I feel like I've fought this guy multiple times. So stylistically, I feel like it's a perfect matchup.
Now, since our last interview last year, you fought Jordan Espinosa in January. Did you take anything away from that fight?
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly what we had planned on doing. It was a good experience. I got the win. Obviously, that's most important. But I did get a little emotional in that fight, and that's something that I need to control. If I'm talking to the referee, that just means I'm not focused. So we made some adjustments during camp to deal with that, and we'll just move on to the next one.
Now, obviously, it's been a while since that fight back in March, and you were originally going to fight in June on the Gane versus Volkov card, but your opponent pulled out. So did you go from that camp and just transition straight into this camp and just keep doing what you were doing?
Yeah. So as soon as Stu backed out, we went right to the drawing board. I could have taken a short notice fight against an unranked opponent or waited a little bit for a ranked opponent. And, now here we are. But yeah, I just stayed in camp the whole time.
Do you think a longer camp has helped you prepare better for this, fitness wise?
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I had more time to train and build skill and technique, but at the same time, it's longer for injuries and grinding my body down. And but yeah, I feel like it's definitely beneficial for me. I'm training a lot different now that I'm getting older. So yeah, I feel like it was definitely beneficial.
Now, so the fight is this weekend, and what is your plan? Are you going to try and stand up with him, or are you going to try and take it to the ground and make it scrappy like you did against Espinosa?
This guy's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Jordan was a wrestler, so I knew Jordan would engage coming forward. I just plan on fighting for 15 minutes and fighting hard. I feel like he's kind of a slow starter, so I want to get after him early, but I don't know. Every fight starts on the feet, and I feel like my striking has really been working well this camp. So I'm going to strike for as long as I can, and I'm just going to take the easy ones.
And do you feel like there will be a finish, or what method of victory do you think you will have?
I mean, everybody always says they want to get a finish, and of course I always do. But all these guys that I'm fighting are tough and young, so I just see another 3-round grind. So yeah. Hopefully a high deficit in scoring and control and takedowns. But yeah, it's going to be a three-round battle. This guy's not going away. He's been known to stick around, and he has a great record. So I don't see him being an easy guy to finish.
Now, if you win this fight, is there an opponent in mind? Maybe the winner or loser of the Kai Kara France versus Garbrandt fight?
That fight's interesting. I would really like to get the Askar Askarov fight back. A week before that fight, I was rear-ended in a car wreck, and we got our car totaled, and I was knocked unconscious and had whiplash. So I feel like I wasn't really all there for that fight. I would like to get that one back if possible. Plus, I think he's 3 in the world, so that would put me right where I need to be.
And do you have a prediction for that Kai Kara France fight? How do you think that fight will go?
Kai and Cody, that's a good matchup. I feel like that's the matchmakers did a great job with that one. Yeah, I think Cody will just be too much for Kai.
And so is that a fight you're interested in? Maybe the Cody Garbrandt fight? Do you think that logically could happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. But I think what they're going to try to do is if Cody gets a win, they're going to try to streamline him right to the title fight, which makes sense. It's better for the division. He's a popular guy. But yeah, I think I want to fight the popular guys. I want to fight the big name guys. I want to get my name back in that hat one more time. I want one more title run before I'm too old to do this anymore.
So how you just said you want one more title run. How many fights do you think how many wins do you think you are away from a title fight?
I think if I could win this fight this weekend and then get that win back that I lost to Askar Askarov, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be knocking on contention. That would put me at 4 in a row, beating the number 7 and number 3 guys back to back. But again, the fights come and the opportunities come along, whether they're title fights or not. We're not in a position to say no. Really, I got a kid and animals and a wife and a house. So I just kind of take what the UFC gives me, and they've always kind of taken care of me. So I've been a company man for them, and they kind of take care of me. So it's I'm just ready to perform and go from there. Winning this fight's most important. There's no title run if I can't beat Nicolau. And
how soon would you like to get back in there? If you win this fight and come out unscathed, do you think January, February?
I would love to get another one in before the end of the year. I know that's a long shot, but coming out unscathed would be good. I'm a guy who I can make weight pretty easily. I don't need a lot of time to make weight. I could fight at 35 as well. Obviously, as long as I'm winning, I want to try to get this title contention going. But if I got a contract renegotiation and they would give me a flat rate, I would fight at 25, 35, take short notice fights, whatever they need.
And obviously that's interesting. You offered to fight Sean O'Malley when his opponent pulled out in July. So is 135 maybe a division you want to explore?
Not really, but if I could get a new contract for a flat rate and they need a guy for short notice, I'm always a guy who can come in and compete and make weight, no problem at 25 or 35. So yeah, I would love to be on that flat rate, Justin Gaethje type pay. And I would definitely, I would branch out more, fight more often. Especially since I'm fighting different now. I'm just not taking on injuries like I used to.
Now, I wanted to ask you about this from a fighter's perspective, the recent events with the John Jones arrest. What is your opinion on that whole debacle?
I have a wife and kids myself. I know, it can, and I also fight in the UFC. So I know shit can get stressful, but there's no excuse really for hitting your old. I mean, he's a giant. I don't know. I don't know what he's going through. I don't condone any of that. Lucky in my, not say lucky in my relationship, but Gina and I fight in the same weight class, and she gets quite a bit bigger than me, and she hits pretty hard. So a little different when her and I are hitting each other. But it's sad, and I hope he figures it out, for himself and for his family, and that's at the end of the day, fighting's not what's important. It's his family, and that's what he needs to take care of first and foremost. So I hope he takes care of that.
Yeah, it's quite sad. I wasn't surprised by the news. I felt like there was going to be another John Jones event, but at the same time, it's sad, really, to see one of the greatest of all time. So, as you said, you want to fight potentially by the end of the year or maybe early on next year, and Askarov is a guy you have your eye on. Do you think he would accept that fight?
Maybe not right now because he's 3 and I'm 7, but after this fight, I don't see why not. There's just not a lot of slack in the division, man. All the guys that are left in the flyweight division are killers. There's no easy fights. So
yeah.
For me, I want to fight the highest ranked guys because if I'm going to fight a killer, I might as well fight somebody ranked above me. So he might be thinking the same thing. What does he get out of fighting me again? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I got a good manager, and I trust the matchmaker's decisions, and I want to get whatever gets me closest to end line of fighting for the title. And Askar's number 3, so that would put me right where I need to be.
And do you think maybe Askar will try and push for the Brandon Moreno rematch before maybe taking a fight with you?
Yeah, I mean, if I was him, that's what I would be doing. And I mean, they had a draw, so that fight makes sense.
Yeah, and then there's another guy pushing for the belt, Pantoja. He just beat Royval, I believe, and he has 2 wins over the champion. Do you think maybe that's a fight you could take? Like,
Definitely. That's and I know Pantoja well. We're on the Ultimate Fighter together. That's the thing is like you're talking all three of those guys. Two of those guys Pantoja has 2 wins over the champ, and Askar has a draw with the champ. So you're talking guys that already have direct competition and wins with this guy. So anybody in the top 3 to 5, I feel like is going to put me in a position to be able to talk about title contention. Until I beat those guys, then like it's just building to get to there. But I think after this fight, I'll be in the talks of like, hey, I want to, people will be wanting to fight me to move up. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I've heard people calling you a gatekeeper, which I don't think is fair because your last 2 opponents weren't the top of the division.
Yeah, it's whatever. I know the way it goes. Like you're gonna fight a tough guy in the UFC. You're not gonna get an easy fight, and some people just show up some days, and some people don't. So I don't consider myself the best, but I know if I have a good day and everything goes right for me, I could beat anybody in the world. But I feel like there's a lot of guys in the division that are the same way. So all I got to do now is put some consistency together and some wins together. And I feel like that was the one part of my game that I was missing, was getting a consistent streak going. And that's what I'm looking at, getting this win, putting 3 or 4 behind me in a row and going from there.
Well, I think that's really interesting. I think the whole flyweight division is really interesting. I think there's fights that could be made all over that division. If there's any dream fight you could make in the UFC right now, because it is a very open world, what is it?
For me or just in general?
Just in general, and then for you as well.
Oh man, for me, I would have to say the Askar fight. I just want to get that bag. I feel like I wasn't really in that fight. I had an injury before, and I feel like it really affected my performance in the fight. So that one for me. And then we just had Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler fight. So I feel like I just had one of my dream fights come back. They're making them all the time, man. The UFC is putting together great cards and great matches. So they're making those constantly.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that Nick Diaz Robbie Lawler fight. It was weird and fun at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's what you get 2 guys that have been in the game so long. They weigh the risk a little bit different, but man, it's inspiring to see 2 guys still be able to get in there and do that. Not that they're super old, but I'm one of the older guys, and seeing these older guys get into boxing ring and stuff, like it's inspiring to let me know, like, all right, you can still compete. These guys can still compete and compete well.
Well, Tim, I'm out of questions, and I know you have to get to the hotel. So
I'm on to the next one.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming on my show. It means a lot to me.
Anytime, buddy. Take care.
Hopefully we can do it again. Bye.
Yes, sir. Later.